Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here. Welcome to episode 19 of Ragnamod 5. In between episodes, it didn't really do much. I moved around and expanded out the platform that I'm using all of my Thaumcraft stuff on. I added an enchanting table to enhance the things that I can research. So the enchanting table, I believe, helps out Eldritch stuff. But whenever I study, if it has this rune over here, yeah, infusion and auramancy. That's what the enchanting table is for. So, yeah, if anything that you're researching has runes around the pages, then that means it is directly related to whatever you chose at the beginning, whenever you decide to start theorizing about stuff. If I look inside my Thaumonomicon, I also went to the Nether, got some fire bats, wisp, the wither skeletons, pigmen, and magma slimes, just so I could have all of the knowledge totals. So all of my observations are well and good, and I have at least one of every single theory, including the Thaumic Tinker. So the Thaumic Tinker is an add-on, and over here I have Thaumic Tinker and Thaumic Energistics. So these are two extra pages added by separate mods. If it's related to Thaumcraft base, all the pages are going to be over here, and we'll see that later on in the episode when I get into alchemy. Also, I'm not sure when it happened, but when I was in the Nether scanning everything, I managed to get a Permutatio V crystal. I don't know what gave it to me. It was sometime in between when I scanned the Wither Skeleton and the Magma Slime. I know that because I had just cleared out my inventory before that. And I also searched around in between episodes for an angry zombie, caught it in a soul vial, for the sole purpose of scanning it. So I'm going to release him right here. He's going to immediately start burning, but not before I can scan him. So I learned something new. Research completed on the zombie. And I'm just going to kill him. Now that research is completed, I can look over here for this angry zombie newly discovered research. And I have observed that some zombies seem more aware than their lumbering brethren. Their eyes burn with a malevolent intelligence, leading me to believe that they have retained much more intelligence after death than is normal. They are definitely more aggressive and dangerous than a normal zombie. They should make good sources of brain matter for my experiments. So I have already scanned the Thaumcraft zombie brain. I don't know what else I do with it, quite frankly, but yeah, the zombie brains definitely are something that you can grab and make sure to scan. So angry zombie is now done, and we can move on to alchemy. I would also like to say, right before I begin my alchemy, that my good buddies Fate Alchemist and Sassy Rogue have already done a series on Thaumcraft. Actually, they're in the middle of the series on Thaumcraft. They are explaining things in much more detail than I'm going to go over in this episode. So feel free to pop over to their channel, and their channel is called RogueAlchemist. They do videos together. So always and forever, they're a married couple. But yeah, they're very nice people. They're very detailed, and they can answer more Thaumcraft questions than I can because they've actually been dealing with it for over 37 episodes of their Thaumcraft series. So let's get started. Discovering alchemy, I have already done my observations on fundamentals and alchemy, so I'm going to complete this. So I need to make a crucible. My recent discoveries have given me a new insight into how the world is put together, and I think I might know a way to transform matter by altering its essentia. This will require experimentation and something to hold the alchemical substrate. A simple brewing stand will not do. What I need is a mystical crucible. A cauldron is the right shape and size, but what is effectively a big metal bowl will never be able to hold the magical energies I wish to manipulate. Once again, applying some Salus Mundus to a cauldron should resolve my problems. So I need to make a cauldron. I have neglected to do that, but I can at least grab my Salus over here. Oh, I've also, in between episodes, getting all of the phases of the moon. So, with all the phases of the moon, whenever you're doing some research, sometimes it will ask you to use some of your celestial notes, and it has used quite a bit of my celestial notes in all of my theory researching. So, but yeah, let's go making this cauldron. Alright, here we are. So, gonna place down some lava, and I'm gonna place down, place down the cauldron right above the lava. So, this is going to be necessary because when I upgrade this to the Crucible, Boom. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to scan you. And so this requires a heat source in order to heat up the water that you're going to be putting in it. So I also have a sink over here. Just place that right there. Fill it up. And eventually the heat will start to make this boil, and you'll be able to see the bubbles that are happening. I'm going to wait for that to... Oh, there they are. So now that you have the bubbles going in here, you know that it's going to be ready to start our work. But this is now complete. I have my crucible. Now I need something to experiment with, and I happen to have the perfect thing. I have spent many a late night studying thaumaturgy, and flickering torchlights is not the best thing to read by. A steady magical light is exactly what I need now. Glowstone is a steady source of light, but I require large handfuls of it for a light source, and it lacks style. I'm sure I can alter it into something better. The crucible needs to be placed under a source of heat and filled with water. Once the water boils, I can start adding the things I need. I have jotted down a recipe that I think will create a substance I have named nitor. I'm going to pronounce it niter because who cares about enunciation, right? A small core of energized glowstone empowered with energy, fire, and light should burn forever. It should be naturally buoyant, allowing it to be placed wherever I choose, even floating in midair. I simply need to find objects with the required essentia. Pressing shift whilst hovering over an item might help here, and throw them into the crucible. The crucible will render them down into their constituent essentia. I might not be able to gather the exact combination of essentia I require, but if there is enough of types I need, everything should be fine. Once I have enough, all I need to do is throw in a catalyst, in this case a handful of glowstone dust. If all goes well, the glowstone will absorb the essentia and transform into niter. I am not sure what will happen to the excess essentia, but I can only assume it will eventually dissolve harmlessly. That's a bad assumption. So now that we are into alchemy, Oh wow, okay. So my flux is now at 12.2 here in this chunk, and I have 152 V in this chunk as well. So 12.2. Anything left over once I start throwing things into this crucible will get absorbed into this chunk. And yeah, I do not want it to get out of control because then bad things will happen. Last episode I mentioned a rift that can appear. That's one of the things that can appear if I let the flux get out of control in this chunk. So I'm going to be very careful and make sure that until I get into the next portion, which will show me exactly how much essentia is inside the crucible, I'm going to be very methodical about this. Now we are ready to begin our first foray into alchemy. So what I have done is I've grabbed some torches, because if you hold shift here, it shows you that you're going to be getting Lux, Soul, and Bestia Essentia whenever you throw a torch into a crucible. Now I want that Lux because Lux is going to be required to make the yellow niter. So if you look at the recipe in the crucible of what it takes to make a yellow niter, you're going to need 10 Potentia, 10 Ignis, and 10 Lux. That's why I have the torches. Now, in order to get Lux, you can click right here and Aspect from Item Stack. And you'll see that anything that gives you Lux, all items are shown here. There are 46 pages of items that give you Lux. However, if you hold shift over all of them, it's not just Lux that it's giving you. So you can go through and see what items there are. So like this temporary Bifrost block will give you 5 Lux, but then a whole bunch of other different essentia that you don't want. Remember, we're trying to make sure that the flux stays relatively low. Now, I already messed up, and if I'm holding up this thermometer here, you see that my flux is now at 20.5. That's because I did not hold shift before clicking the crucible with my thermometer, and when you're not holding shift, yeah, the crucible just took it. So I, of course, couldn't get it back. There was a whole bunch of essentia in there that I didn't know about, because I don't have the goggles necessary to see that stuff. And so I just broke the crucible, released the flux into the... Oh, when you break the crucible, it releases the flux immediately into the chunk. And that's the reason why I have 20.5 in there. It was originally like 26 or something, but it evenly distributed itself between the neighboring chunks. So now I'm just sitting at 20.5. Later on, I'll develop something that will allow me to decrease the flux in that chunk, but I'm nowhere near close to that. But let's move on. One of the things I want to create is this sooty marble, because if you hold shift over, you'll see it's going to give me 1 Potentia and 1 Ignis each. So I'm just going to make 40 of those and combine that with my torches. I'm just going to need 2 torches and 10 sooty marble. And after I throw these in, and then my glowstone dust immediately after, I will get 1 niter and have 1 soul and 1 bestia essentia left inside the crucible. So the risk is very minimal. And that's what I meant when I said I was going to be methodical with this. I will be researching everything that gives me what type of essentia before doing anything with the crucible until I have a way of mitigating how much flux I'm generating. So let's throw this sooty marble in there. Oh, my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2 torches. Now everything should be ready to go. Toss in that glowstone dust, and I just made some niter. Grab my thermometer one more time. I'm still at 20.5, so I didn't really release that much into it. Over time, any essentia left in the crucible will just dissipate into the chunk. So make sure whatever you throw in there you use immediately. It wouldn't have done me any good if I had thrown in those 2 torches, then gone over here, or I didn't have the marble ready, so I had to go collect the marble, then the coal. By then, all of the essentia that was part of those torches could have distributed from the crucible. So, yeah, make sure you have all of the stuff necessary in order to create this stuff. But here we go. I have my yellow niter. Let's look at the Thaumcraft. Awesome. Now you see over here, alchemy, 0%. I have yet to begin this research, but this whole page is all about the alchemy. And as I unlock different things in these discovering quests, it will unlock new pages for me to look at in the Thaumcraft. So, research completed. Basic alchemy, crucible crafting guide. Place a crucible over a heat source, fire, lava, niter, something similar. We've already done that. Add water, wait till it boils. Done that. Add ingredients with the essentia you require, either by dropping them or clicking the item on the crucible's top face. Throw in a catalyst, and shift right clicking with an empty hand will empty a crucible. Now when I empty the crucible, the same risk applies. I will be releasing flux of whatever essentia is inside the crucible into the chunk. So be careful with that. Each crafting operation will consume some of the water, 50 millibuckets usually, so I'll have to replenish it now and again. Piping mechanisms can be used for this. I craft multiple items at once by adding sufficient essentia and using multiple catalysts. Essentia does dissolve over time, so I shouldn't wait too long before starting to craft. I wonder what the purple puffs of smoke mean when this happens. Probably nothing to worry about. Once again, foreshadowing that it is something you need to worry about. Now, essentia crystals should be fairly easy to craft. All I need to do is break down a quartz crystal into smaller shards to act as a growth medium. Simply dipping a shard into the crucible should soak up some of the essentia it contains and cause the crystal to grow. This won't be a particularly efficient way of doing things. It will probably cost at least twice the essentia that the crystal will end up containing, and there's a net loss of quartz, which is not always the easiest thing to find. Lucky for us, quartz is very easy for us to find, especially since we can fly, and it is all over the nether in larger quantities, actually, and I can sieve to get all of the nether quartz I need. So the next thing that we're going to do is this alchemical metallurgy. So brass is a sturdy, low-friction metal perfectly suited to craft intricate mechanical devices. Unfortunately, it is not always possible to get a hold of due to the morphic properties of the universe I may find myself in. Different mod packs. There should be a way of crafting it via alchemical transmutation. I simply need to find it. Alchemical brass ingot is what we need to create. I already have the observation alchemy. And in a crucible, all I need is 5 instrumentum. Throw in an iron ingot, and I will get alchemical brass. And for that purpose, I have crafted these wooden shovels. So wooden shovels, hold shift, it will give me exactly 4 instrumentum. So 4 times 5, 20. I'm going to make a total of 5. Where is my iron? I know I collected some earlier. But I'm going to make 5 alchemical brass, and the reason why I'm doing this exactly is because there isn't a item that will give me exactly 5. Actually, hang on. Let's look at the other shovels. Stone shovel. Yeah, stone shovel will give me 8, but it has some extra stuff on it. So yeah, the wooden shovel is my best bet right now. especially since I always plan on making... Oh, one more. I always plan on making more than one piece of brass at a time, so I'm just going to throw my shovels in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then iron ingot, iron ingot, iron ingot, iron ingot, iron ingot. Awesome. So with my thermometer, nope, I can't actually do anything, but now that I have this alchemical brass... Oh, wait a minute, did I lose one? This is dangerous, but I really wish I could see what's going on in there. Actually, no, I have no colored bubbles in there. I don't think there's anything in there that I can use. Huh. Yeah, I should definitely have 5. No, I shouldn't. That's stupid. Okay. So, oh. Dang it. Alright, that purple cloud was flux releasing into the atmosphere. So it was at 22, now it's 21. It is releasing itself into the other chunks. That's unfortunate. But at the very least, we have our alchemical brass. I don't know why I was thinking that I needed 5. That's bad math, folks. But now that I have my alchemical brass, that quest should be completed in my Thaumanomicon. Complete. So metals have proven to be quite easy to manipulate via thaumaturgical principles. My first experiment has led me to the discovery of alchemical brass. But it was a simple matter to create something that already exists. It's time to create something new. I have theorized that by infusing a base metal like iron with magical energy, should result in something with very interesting properties. It should be harder than iron, with the ability to accept enchantments beyond that of which iron is normally capable of. A metal such as this should have many applications in the crafting of more advanced thaumaturgical devices. So it wants theory alchemy, which I do not have yet, and also wants me to craft some thaumium ingots. So theory alchemy, yeah, I do not have level 1, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more research at my theory table until alchemy is at level 1. Alright, so air and ignis, I have been having a crazy amount of luck with alchemy. I have at 172% right now. And the last thing it wants for this research is synthesis, an air crystal, and a vis crystal. Sorry, air and ignis V crystal. Complete that theory. There we go, I get 2 alchemy points. So now that I have those 2 alchemy points, I shouldn't have any problem. There we go, theory alchemy. Now I can make the thaumium ingot. And the thaumium ingot is Precantio and Terra, 5 of each. And then throw some iron in there. I think I'm going to skip the next step of alchemical metallurgy because I can't find anything that's going to give me the Precantatio or the Terra without adding like 23 or more of any other type of Essentia. So I'm not going to risk adding the flux to my chunk. So I'm going to start with hedge alchemy next. And once we make some magic tallow, which is easy enough, throw some rotten flesh into a crucible with some ignis in it. And ignis is the probably the easiest one that we can make right now because I have ignis V crystals that spawn naturally in the world. So you know what, I'm going to make 10 tallow. I just need to go get some, just go kill some zombos. Alright, and here we go. "10 magic tallow." And what can they be used for? Making candles. Or, making blank seals. Now the tallow gives me 1 ignis, so it is a, it's not like I can cheese anything. So I'm going to, yeah, now that I have this tallow, that quest should be complete. Complete it. So some substances are simple enough that just adding more of the same essentia it contains is enough to create more of that substance. This isn't true for everything, but the phenomenon will probably prove useful. So I need to make gunpowder, slime balls, ink sacs, and glowstone dust. I haven't made a slime ball yet. I wonder why it's checked off. Alright, that article read a little weird, but basically what it means is an ink sac, I need 5 sensus, 5 aqua, correction, 2 aqua, and 2 bestia in order to make an ink sac, but all of those are used with an ink sac. So after I throw in 1 ink sac here, boom, and then throw in an ink sac as the catalyst, and I get 2 ink sacs. So it's yeah, it's basically a 1 for 1. And I'm going to do that the same. There we go, and that should complete that quest. Yep, completed. So some things you simply have to craft from scratch. All I need is a base material and add Essentia. With a bit of luck, I can manufacture a few relatively common but annoying to get materials, such as clay. Why is that completed again? So basically what that entry means is in order to make a bucket of lava, I need 15 ignis and 5 terra. But if you look at the lava bucket, it is comprised of also 33 metallum and 5 vacuos. Hopefully I'm pronouncing vacuos right. But that 33 metallum and 5 vacuos is supplied by the bucket, by the catalyst. So all I need to do is take these stone rods, and stone rods provide 1 terra, and Ignis V crystals, which provide 1 ignis, and just drop them all in. And then provide the catalyst, the bucket, and I get the lava bucket, which is comprised of all 4 of them. So, bully for me, that is how that works, and all I need to do is do the same thing for all of these, the cobweb and the string, and the cobweb is made with vincellum, and the string is, I'm not even sure what it is, because I guess the Thaumanomicon is bugged out right now. But I'm going to make these other 4 and then complete the quest. So this is slightly risky because I'm going to be using an oak door, which gives me more than just the 5 essence that I need. And in order to make the cobweb, I need the vinculum. So yeah, I'm adding more than vinculum to it, but whatever, that's fine. So throw in this door, throw in the piece of string, and I get a cobweb. Then I'm going to throw in this piece of wheat. Oh shoot, I thought that would have been enough. Let's throw in another piece of string. And then another piece of wheat. There we go, I got my string. So like I said, that's going to be risky, and any second now it's going to start releasing all of the excess Essentia into the chunk, but whatever, it's a risk we took in order to complete this quest. Yeah, see, look at that, it's 24 now. 24.2. Oh man, that stinks. But with that, I can complete this quest and move on to the next one. For now, my studies are complete, but who knows what wondrous discoveries I will make in the future. And the next thing that I'm going to start is a liquid death. Curiosity has taken me down a dark path. I wonder what a liquid made mostly from entropic and death energy would do. Nothing good, I imagine. At the very least, it should make a handy weed killer or control pests. Oh, wow. Okay, that was a very scary sound. Oh dear, what have I done? This liquid is so dangerously toxic that virtually nothing can prevent it from dissolving flesh, bone, and even harder substances. Nothing alive, or that even displays the semblance of life, can survive it. Apart from obvious practical applications, this vile substance has another interesting property. Any essentia a dissolved creature possessed from... Oh, any essentia a dissolved creature possessed form into crystals that can be harvested. Huh. Oh wow, that is Alchemia, Mortus, and Perditio with a bucket. So I better figure out how I can do to, what I need in order to make this. Before I continue down alchemy, I need to discover Artifice. The reason why I need to discover Artifice is it's going to give me a pair of goggles. These goggles are revealing that will allow me to see everything that is inside my crucible. So this is easy enough to make. All I need is 4 leather, 2 alchemical brass, and 2 thermometers. So I've already made another thermometer. Have my brass right here, and my 4 leather. Go over here, and this is going to cost 50 V. I have 133 because I used 20 to make this second thermometer again. But right here, and the 2 thermometers. Here we go. Goggles are revealing. Now this, oh. Huh, that's weird. Well, now that I'm not wearing all 4 pieces of my living armor, that means I'm not going to be able to take advantage of healthy anymore. Yeah, that stinks. It's fine, I can just switch out to the living helmet every time I need to re-up my hearts. But for now I have the goggles revealing, which means any Essentia that is inside the Crucible, I'll be able to see now. And also anything that I haven't scanned before, it will show me. Oh yeah, V discount, 5%, nice. So everything that I can craft in the Crucible is also going to be a little bit cheaper. Alright, the liquid death is a little bit too complicated right now, so we're going to move on to the alimentum. So I was right, should be able to take a lump of coal, add more of the essentia it already contains, and possibly a little bit of perditio for extra kick. My calculations are correct, the resulting substance, which I have dubbed alimentum, should burn 3 times longer than normal coal. My calculations also show that the substance will be quite energetic, and I should take care not to chuck it about, not unless I have a good reason to, that is. So the recipe for it is I can use coal or charcoal, but I need 10 ignis, 5 perditio, and 10 potentia. So looking over all of the things, I have charcoal, redstone, gunpowder, and coal. Coal and charcoal have the same amount of potentia and ignis in there, and then the gunpowder and the redstone. But I may not have this right because the gunpowder recipe, where is it? Required the same thing. It's just the alchemia. So yeah, gunpowder is adding alchemia, which means if I add another piece, all I'll end up doing is making more gunpowder. Well, shoot. Well, I have my quartz slivers here. Just in case I mess up, I can, yeah, I had 200 millibuckets left in there. Just in case I mess up, I have quartz slivers, and I can use it to create more V crystals, which is what happened here, this potentia. I messed up earlier, and on another recipe, I had to use the quartz slivers to get those crystals in there. But let's try this out. Oh yeah, now that I have the goggles on, you'll see that that's what's in there. 2 redstone. There we go. So 1 more gunpowder. And then throw in the quartz slivers to get rid of the extra. Oh, should probably get my water bucket in here. What are you doing right now? Let me grab you. There we go. Alchemia V crystals. Throw those in here, and now I have my alimentum, which burns for quite a long time. Much better than coal, at least. So now that that is complete. Oh. Alright, that quest is complete, so I can start working on the Essentia Smelting. What the heck is that? A really weird sound effect just played. It sounded like a heart beating very fast. I don't know what just happened. That was really weird. But anyway, the recipe that I used, like I said, was 2 pieces of charcoal, 2 redstone, and then 1 piece of gunpowder, and then 1 piece of coal. Then 1 piece of gunpowder, then 1 piece of coal. Add in the 2 other coal, and take the rest out with the slivers, and bam. That is how I made this, and I didn't have to risk anything else going into the chunk. Yep, I'm still at 25.5, that's no problem. So I did a little research, and apparently that heartbeat sound was an effect of the warp. And if I continue doing thaumaturgy, then yeah, the effects will get worse. So in order to check and see where my warp is, I need to make this sanity checker. Sanity checker's alchemical brass, nuggets, 2 zombie brains, and mirrored glass. The mirrored glass is easy enough to make. I'm just going to need some quicksilver. So the shimmer leaf plants right here will convert into a piece of quicksilver. Easy enough. And you can get these shimmer leaves by world-generated silver leaf. We'll just have them at the base. So if you find a world-generated, make sure you collect those. And also, as you break the leaves, there's a chance of getting a... what are those bad boys called? Yeah, quicksilver drops. So now that I have this Quicksilver, if I look at the Arcane Workbench, a glass pane, Aqua V crystal, and Ordo will get me the mirrored glass. Oh, actually no, I need to have basic artifice in order to do that first. Yeah, all it took was just opening up the basic artifice circle once in the artifice tab, and bam, I can now make mirrored glass, no problem. Quicksilver and glass panes. Also, I'm going to need the Ordo and the Aqua. Here we go, and a glass pane. Boom. Oh, I moved my workbench over here temporarily because I was worried about depleting all of the V in my chunk. So yeah, let's move you back real quick. Alright, Quicksilver. Glass pane. Here we go, mirrored glass. Now all I need is some zombie brains, which fairly certain I have 2 of them already. Nope, I was wrong. I'm going to go grab some zombie brains, and when I come back with you, I will be ready to craft the Sanity checker. Here we go, Sanity checker ready to make. I just need the Ordo and the Perditio, and it's going to cost 19 V in order to make because of my 5% discount wearing the goggles. And Sanity checker. Alright, so yeah, my sanity is perfectly fine. It's a very small small part at the bottom of that gauge. I'm not worried about it. Awesome, but now that I have a sanity checker, that's all well and good. I think I'm going to close out this episode. I know I didn't get that far into alchemy, but there's always more episodes. In the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to take care of the Essentia Smelting, get these warded jars, and hopefully by the end of the episode, I will feel comfortable enough in order to make liquid death. So yeah, I am Kelly Engineering. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.